Hi, Dr. Heather here from Wellspring Chiropractic Lifestyle Center. Today we're talking about anxiety and depression. And you know, the conventional way to manage this in our culture is through medication. And what happens is we now have a pharmaceutical where people are becoming dependent on it. And although they may feel better, although they may think the drug is working, they are dependent on that chemically in order for it to work in a way that they can manage things. It doesn't actually correct the cause of the problem. Now, Dr. Jay Holder was a chiropractor who did some amazing research, who discovered the association in the brain reward cascade where people may be born with a genetic variant on the A1 allele of the D2 gene that it shows that if you have this defect, that you will have trouble experiencing well-being. The chemicals in our body that allow us to experience well-being require receptors to be working that can then be stimulated by those chemicals so that we then have what's called a brain reward cascade. So there's a whole sequence that happens in the brain where the brain secretes serotonin, and then that then influences another part of the brain and another part of the brain and another part of the brain. And so there's a whole reward cascade that needs to happen. And if you have a genetic defect, you have a defect in your the reward cascade. And what happens then is you can be struggling with things like anxiety, depression, or compulsive disorders, addictions, those kinds of things. What he found was that chiropractic care actually helps those receptors to reorganize and integrate so that now they can experience well-being. Now they can receive those chemicals of well-being. And so chiropractic isn't a fix for anxiety and depression. What it is something that restores the normal function in the body. And that is so exciting, because we can see how it can benefit so many people. Now, historically, chiropractic actually has been shown over many years to help folks that are struggling with anxiety and depression. In fact, back in the 1920s, there were 2 sanitariums that were specifically chiropractically based that were getting significant improvements in mental health issues. And then we can fast forward to Dr. Jay Holder's research. And there's another research study that showed that using a light touch model of care, we call it a tonal model of chiropractic care, that people's experience of well-being across significant ranges actually showed improvements. And what they also showed was that when people were under ongoing care, that the benefits were cumulative, that the more care, the chiropractic care they received, the better their results were. And there was no ceiling on it. Even after 3 years of care, people were experiencing better adaptability to stress and a greater sense of well-being and greater quality of life. Another study in 2005 showed significant improvements in depression with people under chiropractic care, and that chiropractic adjustments actually can improve the brain reward cascade, the balance of hormones in the body that impact our experience of anxiety and depression. So I hope you found this useful, and I hope you can share it with other people that you know who may be struggling as well.